so glad you wanted to take a walk with me today. Clearly I'm not in Port Orchard, but I'm in my favorite day trip from Port Orchard, which is near Pacific Beach. And it's really easy to start the mornings here with a really great attitude. But I want to talk today about two passages in the Corinthians letter that we've been looking at. 2 Corinthians 4 verse 1 and verse 16 both say, so we don't lose heart. Well, I think waking up today and seeing the sunrise over the ocean reminded me of how much whether or not I'm going to lose heart in a day depends on how I start the day. So how do you start your day? Do you reach over, grab your phone, check Instagram right away? Do you reach over and read something? Do you reach over for somebody you love? How do you start the day? And what does that tell you about the state of your heart? So how do we not lose heart? I think we've got to take up a comparison game. And I think the world would have us have a comparison game with Instagram, with other people's lives, or even with our own lives. Is today better than yesterday? Or is what they're going through worth losing heart over more than what I'm going through? But I think the Bible invites us to a different comparison game. A comparison game between what we're experiencing now and what we're going to experience forever. It's a natural thing for us to compare, isn't it? They're worse than I am. What they're suffering isn't as hard as what I'm suffering. But the Bible doesn't want us to compare ourselves with each other, but to compare ourselves now with what God is intending for us forever. I'm really excited to share that with you today. I'd encourage you to read scripture for a right comparison of what our lives are like now and what God intends for us to experience, not only forever, but even now. 2 Corinthians is going to continue through chapter 5. It would be a great place to pick up and start reading today. And look for the things that God says are going to last forever. He talks about a dwelling place, a place for us to live that's going to be permanent. He talks about the reconciliation of our hearts, the reconciliation with one another. In the context of Corinth, it's the reconciliation of the races and the genders and the economic divides. God promises that forever He's going to be with us. He promises us joy forever. He promises us salvation forever. These are all the permanent comparisons. And so Paul talks about in this passage us looking not to what is seen, but to what is unseen. For what we can see now, it's not going to last forever. But what we can't see, man, that's permanent. So when I think about having a heart comparison game, the comparison isn't when I wake up today, do I feel more awake? Do I get more sleep than I did yesterday? It's not, am I more rested than the mom with 6 kids? I don't have any reason to complain about not getting enough sleep. It's not those kind of comparisons. That stuff eats away our hearts. The comparison is what God is providing you forever. And He's providing you total security, total joy, total salvation forever. And so in light of what I'm going to experience forever, am I rested enough for today? Yeah. In light of the fact that God's going to heal my body forever, can I endure today as what Paul calls a light and momentary affliction not compared to somebody else's cancer treatment or somebody else's sick kid, but compared to the weight of glory that I'm going to know forever. Oh man, like I can set my heart aright. Friends, we're losing heart every day because this world doesn't look like the world that God has made for you. forever. The desires that you have for security and reconciliation and permanence and love and fullness and joy and rescue. Those are the desires that the Spirit has placed in you and on you. They're the desires of someone who is so close to the kingdom of God. They're the desires of someone who God is speaking to, who He is sending His Spirit to. And so don't give up. Don't lose heart. The Spirit is drawing you. He's set eternity in your heart. And He's desiring for you to see that all that you can see today, the best of these things last forever. The worst of these things He's doing away with, even now. And He's giving you access to joy and security and salvation and love and permanence with Him, with His presence, with His fullness living in you. And so we do not lose heart, my friends, because even the desire for something different is a promise, is a mark that the Spirit of God is drawing you to Himself. So give Him access to who you are. Give Him access to your questions. Give Him access to your desires. Speak them, journal them, draw them, take pictures of them. Tell someone you love that you want more, and seek after God, because He is the fulfillment of all of these things, both now and forever. What has your heart troubled today? What will last forever? Go ahead, do a comparison game. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And we all, with unveiled face, beholding the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from one degree of glory to another. For this comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. Therefore, having this ministry by the mercy of God, we do not lose heart. So we do not lose heart. Though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. For this light, momentary affliction is preparing for us an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison, as we look not to the things that are seen, but to the things that are unseen. For the things that are seen are transient, but the things that are unseen are eternal.